Okay, this is number 21, and this is a limit problem. We can't substitute 3 in there because we'll get 0 in the denominator, but you will also get 0 in the numerator if for f of x you put ln of x, because you were told that f of x is ln of x. And f of 3 would be ln of 3. So if you put 3 in there, so all I'm doing is they told us that f of x equals ln x. That's where this came from. And f of 3 would just be ln of 3. Okay, so if you substitute 3 in there, now you're going to get 0 over 0, so we're allowed to use L'Hopital's rule, which means take the derivative of the top, the derivative of the bottom, substitute in 3, and you get 1/3, and the answer is A. Okay, for 22, this is a differential equation. We're going to cross multiply. We're going to divide both sides by the things in front of the dx and dy to get the right signs in the right place. We'll get this. Then we're going to add an integral to each side. Okay, on the left side, I'm going to pull out that 1/2. Can't do it on the right side because that 2 is attached to the x. Okay, so on the left side, I'm just going to get this. On the right side, I'm going to need some u substitution. So u is going to be 2x plus 1. Du is going to be 2 dx, but we don't have a 2 dx, so I'm going to divide by 2. And now I'm going to substitute. So for the dx, I'm going to replace that with a 1/2 du. And now I'm left with 1 over u. Okay, the antiderivative of that is ln of u. But I know what u is, so I'm going to go back and replace that. U is 2x plus 1. Okay, just going to make some room here. Okay, and I can divide both sides by 1/2. So that all cancels, and I'm left with this. Oop, I forgot the ln. Okay, and now I can solve for C, because the initial condition they gave me was that when x is 0, y equals e. So ln of e is equal to 1. This should be a 0. Okay, and ln of 1 is equal to 0. So c equals 1. So now I can go back and replace the c with a 1. And now I just need to get this in the form y equals, so I could add, I'm just going to erase this, I feel like I'm squishing in this little spot. I'm going to add a base of e to both sides. Okay, so the left side will just equal that, and I'm going to simplify the right side. And this just gives me that and that. And if I distribute, I get that, and that answer was B. Okay, for number 23, so this is a cross-section problem, and I've written down all the information they gave us. Most importantly, it's perpendicular to the y-axis, which means it has to be dy, so you could immediately take those two choices out. And whether you're doing top minus bottom, right minus left, whatever, there's always a minus sign there, so it can't possibly be B, and that's why the answer was A. Okay, for number 24, this is about average value, and this is the formula for average value. And you're given this interval, so this is A and this is B. And so if we substitute that in, we're going to get this. Okay, and if we simplify, we get this. Okay, and we're just going to erase. Okay, and so we're told that whatever this thing is, that this is going to equal 12. Okay, so how can I get rid of that one's 6? I can multiply both sides by 6, and I get this. Okay, so that would be the average value of just f of x. But they're asking you for this. But for this, I can just pull that 8 out. And get that. Well, I already know what this equals because I have it right here. So that equals 72, and I'll bring down the 1/8, so I just need 1/8 of 72, and that equals 9, which is C. Okay, and finally for number 25, this is the h of x, and we need the derivative. So the derivative is going to be a product rule, so it's the first times the derivative of the second plus the second times the derivative of the first. And now I want h prime of 2, so wherever there's an x, I'm going to put a 2. Okay, and now we just need to figure all these things out. So what is f of 2? Okay, so if we look at the graph, and there's two graphs on there, f of x and g of x, so you're going to look at f of x, and f of 2 is equal to 3. And then you want g prime of 2, so if you look at the g graph, and if you look at when x is 2, you can see that y is equal to 1, but you don't want to know what that is. We want to know what the slope is there. So you could just count up and over, or you could find 2 points on that line and figure out what the slope is, because it's the line, so the slope will be same no matter what, and you should get -2. Okay, g of 2, you can just look at the graph and you can see that it's 1. And then you need f prime of 2, so on the f prime graph, you're going to look up at 2, figure out what the slope is. By counting up and over or using the slope formula, you should get 1/2. So you're going to get a -6 plus 1/2, because 1 times 1/2 is just 1/2. And this should give you a -5.5, which is equal to -11/2, and that was choice D.